Beastmaster.
Right, folks, we're back. Look at that. They did not waste any time. This was like, we looked away from the screen for a second, Alan. We come back with
Yes.
6 bans and 2 picks on each side. They knew what they wanted going into this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's no surprise. And I think Final Tribe are, again, looking at this as we had a draft where we felt we could win with. We were confident, and we just made some execution errors. So it's not surprising. And Vega, we probably spent too much time in the last match talking about TFT. This is a Vega squad team that I think it was a really good pickup, first of all, for that particular org. Kezu, people forget all the time that when he and Yapsor first came over and got big, like these guys, we thought these were going to be the 2 next big superstars at their position. And, Yapsor's kind of made it and Kezu hasn't yet, but I still think he has that potential. And I'm very intrigued. I think being an offlane player and a captain is super, super hard right now.
It definitely gives you a unique perspective when it comes to, for example, the draft. But when you get in game, I've heard he's one of the most vocal offlaners out there.
Yes, he is.
And he has to
Yes,
be,
he
like I
is.
said, as the captain, especially.
But it's tough, right? There's a big difference between being a captain and being a secondary shot caller, right? Mind Control is extraordinarily vocal as a player. It's what makes him so good, but he's extraordinarily vocal as a secondary shot caller. He's a tactical guy, right? He's not trying to dictate strategy, which there's a big difference between when you talk about team dynamics in game.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, he's not going to try and just chip in too much maybe on the next 5 minutes, but when you get into a team fight, you're setting up, that's when he's like, okay, time to talk.
This is also where I'm going to confess. My Dota is actually a little bit bugged right now. It'll fix itself in a second, but I can't see the hero picks.
Okay, so we've got
What were the
Sanking
hero picks in
and
TFT?
Phoenix on TFT.
So what in Phoenix?
Sanking and Phoenix.
Thanking Phoenix. All right, good open, fine.
And then Vega has Grimstroke and Beastmaster.
Oh, get them. All right. Wow.
I painted you a picture. How you feeling about that picture?
Oh no. That's I'm not feeling great for TFT. Grimstroke Beastmaster is Grimstroke Beastmaster is disgusting, and the reason that it's disgusting is it begins with the ult combo, and the ult combo might not even be the most disgusting thing about it. I mean, the combination of a hero that plays so well in terms of providing broad map pressure and just the sheer utility coming out from that hero combo is just insane. It's so versatile.
I think the other thing to kind of highlight here is when you're in a lane with someone like a Beastmaster, you're going to have these aggressively positioned boars, and you can actually inkswell them. You can inkswell boars to run at them.
Yes, exactly.
I don't believe they changed it because it's allied units, so anything that is allied to you.
Oh, God.
Just food for thought right there, folks. Especially early on, if you haven't got a good attack speed, how the hell do you kill those boars quick enough?
I actually just hate that ability. It's I don't know. I think it's more annoying than Ion Shell.
Yeah, a lot of people said, when they changed it, it's nerfed now, it'll be fine. But the thing was, they nerfed its late game relevance because of the whole you don't take damage scenario, but they buffed its early game presence and what you can do with it. Scary ability. See, everyone's too Bob Ross here. They're just too focused on his stroke of fate, and they should be thinking about that nice little bubble he puts on you. All
right, so what are the second phase picks so far?
So we've got Brewmaster on TFT, and we just got Skywrath pick up by Vega.
Skywrath.
That's actually pretty scary. Like that, you were talking about the Soulbind, Skywrath, that's Ancient Seal.
Oh, absolutely. And that's at least threatening a core Skywrath, picking it in that part of the draft. It's very unlikely, but it's at least keeping that possibility alive.
There are good targets as well, because you've already got the Phoenix and the Brewmaster picked. So silence galore, really, so far.
Yeah.
It's worrying. Even for the Sand King to an extent. Like, if you have superior vision and you begin a fight, Sand King's going to try and pre-epicenter. If he's seen by the Skywrath and you get a Mystic Flare off, Sand King's going to enter the fight on about 40% HP.
Yeah, and I mean, you're sure not worried about banning Meepo this time. I mean, with those 3 heroes online, if they want to pick Meepo, you're like, go right ahead.
No, we'll party with it all night, all day. So, ban-wise, we did see the Undying get banned by TFT, interestingly enough, this time. And Vega, noticing something weird that both Dazzle and PA have been ignored, they banned those out.
Yeah. For sure. I think Dazzle is one of those that it's not. I mean, the hero's obviously not unbeatable. We've seen it lose today. We saw it lose yesterday. But in terms of what it brings to all stages of the game, it's just something you don't want to deal with.
And because I'm gonna have to keep telling you the heroes, this is starting to feel like I've just visited an old people's home, and there's like this blind guy that I'm taking out.
What did you say, Shani?
Shani, is there anything in front of us, or can we walk forward? We can walk
forward. You're pretty good at that.
Into a PL. I do a lot of that, right? You can actually turn that into a gyro pretty easily. And a Terrorblade coming out against the PL. So a quick way to crash our PCs, basically. I mean, you're definitely screwed. If you can't see the draft, I don't think you can handle a reflection on a PL army.
No, it'll be all right. This happens with my. I'm too lazy to reconnect basically because this happens if I'm tabbed out when a draft starts. I don't get to see the hero picks. I don't know why, but so that's definitely advantage Vega. You already had the tools to deal with the PL in just the combo of heroes that you have. I mean, obviously it's decent because it gives you a chance to split up the Skywrath damage, but you're going to be able to find the real PL, and if you can. Obviously Ancient Seal just screws with him really, really badly. And I think TB is a great core matchup against it.
So ponder a thought here, an interesting thought indeed. If Grimstroke uses his ultimate and you Sunder, whose health do you get? Because it's cast at literally the same time, right?
I think I want to say I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know what the interaction. It is either going to be it has no effect on the secondary target, or it basically exchanges AP percentage, HP percentage with both targets and has the normal effect on TB as if he were only doing one.
You know, because it would probably lead to a third game in this best of 3, I really want to see a screw up by Terrorblade where he sunders a full HP target and then actually gets the HP of the like 10% soul-binded target.
My suspicion, though, without testing it, I can't be sure, but my suspicion is that Sunder doesn't interact with a lot of other stuff. It has to be a lot of Sunder interactions are shut down because there would be bugs.
Oh, I think Lotus works, right? Like you basically get.
Yeah, Lotus for sure. Lotus, Lincolns, all the standard stuff.
Be interesting to see.
All right, so looking for our mids. I don't think Skywrath is going to be mid at this point. Not against the PL.
Well, there were bans coming out. Both teams think that there's mids left to get. Puck banned by TFT. Vega ban out the Mage Lina, or the Chessie Lina, rather, and they take the Ember. Final pick Ember.
The Ember, okay.
Which doesn't really give you too much with... I say don't give you too much with Grimstroke in terms of result, but with Inkswell on an Ember, you just amplified his mid-game aggression so much.
Right. And the big thing is that there's not a lot on the side of Final Tribe that's going to shut it down at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking at what they have right now and I think what they can do. I mean, you can dispel him with the Flame Guard, which is handy, and Tiny coming through. TFT's final pick. This is going to be a Chessie special.
Yeah, I thought that might have been an Invoker, but okay.
Invoker can go one or two ways, though. Like, Tiny feels a safer option up against an Ember than an Invoker, I'd say, but it can still go pretty rough.
Yeah, so I'm finally the way this bug works for me or whatever. I'm finally getting to see all the picks now. Yeah, I really like this Vega draft. I don't think putting Tiny up against Ember is the right solution. Obviously, Tiny's going to do just fine in that lane, but I don't think Tiny gives you the controller, the threat, and the Ember Spirit in the mid game that you need.
You at least have a lot of magic damage, so you can get rid of the Flame Guard, but I'm just concerned of the combos that they've got here. Like we said about the Inkswell, the amped up damage from Skywrath. Scary.
Well, it feels like we end up saying this about a lot of the TFG drafts, but Jonas Umfan is being asked to do a tremendous amount, right? Because he's kind of your hard lockdown in this scenario. Panda ult's going to do something for you. I like the support Panda here. And I think more and more teams are gravitating. Like he does a support Panda does a stunning amount of damage with those crits.
Yeah, it's pretty absurd. It has most definitely scared the crap out of a lot of people I've been in pubs with. Most people aren't used to this because Brewmaster's always been this guy. It's like, okay, I just want to get 6, play it safe, annoy them a little bit. Now he's just immediately, you want to fight? You want just hands up, drunkenly running at you, like he was some sort of world-class boxer.
But the big thing is when you look at this, Vega have basically 2 heroes that you absolutely have to deal with, or you lose the game. Right? You have to deal with Terrorblade and you have to deal with Ember Spirit. Either of those heroes can just beat you. And Final Tribe has 1, the PL, and I think Vega have the tools to deal with it.
I think the key thing to highlight here is that Tiny and Ember are going to probably fill a similar role, and they're just going to try and rotate a lot. The difference is that Tiny really needs that Blink Dagger to start doing that. Ember just needs level 6. He's going to be doing it much sooner.
Yep. And I think it's just one of those where Ember can just do more things, right? Ember, if you get into a situation for some reason where he doesn't want to rotate, he's perfectly happy falling back and farming. Tiny doesn't want to do that in this game. Tiny absolutely cannot just fall back and farm in this game.
Yeah, because PL is going to need everything he can get.
I mean, that's one of the things that I think. It's one of the things I think. It's hard to talk about, in fairness, and it's especially hard to talk about in a panel when you're 30 to 60 second points. But robustness to game state is a big thing in Dota. Like, if the game goes in a direction a little bit different from the one that we're expecting, is that hero still going to be able to contribute? And that's kind of why I like the Ember pick. It's not necessarily like the best in any one game state, but I feel like it can do a lot of different things in this matchup depending on how the game goes.
He's, of course, going to have to be a little bit careful. Chessie is one of those super pesky Tiny players. The one I've probably seen most get tosses under tower.
Well, his brother's, for my money, his brother is still the best Tiny player. Like, I'll still take Limp Tiny up against anybody else. And those two still talk a lot about this hero. They absolutely love it.
Most definitely, Limp pretty formidable. I believe they had an upset though last night. Complexity actually lost to the MB stack.
Yeah, let's not get me started on that.
That's a whole different conversation. Podcast coming later.
Yeah, I never thought I would be flaming an organization for getting rid of, but there we find ourselves.
Inksville coming out. Hanscom will take a lot of damage from this, and there's the potency of the Skywrath. He moves so fast by default. Hanscom already taking a lot of damage. He did bring a lot of tangos here. He's gonna be forced to use a lot of them already.
Yeah, that's okay though. I mean, if the net impact of them bringing 3 heroes down onto your side of the map when you don't expect it is one hero has to blow a lot of a support in particular has to blow a lot of regen, you'll take that.
I think the only crux compared to most scenarios where this happens is the support that came down can move super fast, and look how quick he's getting to that top lane.
Yep, that's one of the big benefits. And notice he's going to straight up start with a null tower, right? And I actually really like that. I like that decision from MNT. I mean, he's going to eventually need regen, but you know, your carry's going to be ferrying out to lane anyway.
Double value
and
again.
You get so much out of that early null tally with the Arcane Bolt harass.
Yeah, you can actually already see him doing decent damage here, and he doesn't have to worry about the fire spirits because, well, he can just throw out more and more Arcane Bolts.
Yep.
The difference here, however, is that Phoenix brought a lot of regen to this lane, and MNT has none to work with. Yes, now you get to sit at 200 HP. Let's have a look at the mid lane, though, because this should be dominant for Chessie at the start. He has so much damage, it's hard for you to CS on an Ember. But things can change against you if you start putting points into the tree grab, and you don't actually have enough magic damage. At level 3, Mage can run you down and almost kill you. I say almost because you're so damn tanky.
Okay, so my statement about MNT's build was predicated on the I thought he would actually ferry out regen super early. I thought they would have talked about this. Like, I'm starting null, I'm going to need the courier. But Ember used the courier as a mid ordinarily would at that time. And yeah, you're not... Oof, okay.
You kind of need it.
Yeah, I might have been wrong there.
Okay, we are encountering a few crashes here, which is interesting because I think it was Vega last game that were having some lag issues. Now TFT. One apiece. Looking at the bot lane so far, though, a quiet start, a decent start for Beastmaster. And the thing about PL is he does have good base damage and armor, but without aura, you're not going to trade effectively against these two.
Yeah. And it's got to be said, right? I mean, Tiny, this is what you're going to see in laning against the unit. He's got the wave position advantage. He started really well. First couple waves, 9 and 5. Now, this is how this is supposed to go. But Ember, again, as long as Ember doesn't have to deal with rotations coming in, which, given the lineups, you're not that worried about, I think he's going to be just fine.
Thanks on the Brewmaster. And that was actually as he used Drunken Brawler. This is just a counter to any aggression that comes out of Hanskin this lane.
Yep.
Although Pexu needs to be careful at Strokes of Fates. When you miss like that, all you do is shove lane under tower, which you can capitalize on to an extent. But, well, that Stroke of Fate is actually your slow to try and catch onto people.
Oh. Interesting little bob and weave here with their positioning.
Maybe next time.
Mage dodged a little bit of that.
Maybe next time got seen here. Fire Spirits through the tower joins in. No, he's going to go down. He's going to burn out first blood for Era.
That was pretty funny.
That's the tower movement, right? The change in positioning suddenly can get involved in these kills.
That's exactly right. It's just, I don't know. That's one of the reasons that analyzing Dota is so fun. It's these little changes end up having a huge impact at this level of play.
Oh, we forgot to ask because you were trying to make a point in that pause. You may notice something you're probably not used to experiencing, seeing as when you last cast before this, they weren't in the game. These voice lines in the middle of your points. You enjoying it right now? It's nice to have everything disrupted, right?
It's okay. We can play around it. I'm all in favor of, and Dota's supposed to be fun. We forget that a lot of times because the game sometimes is not fun. But mages. This is what I'm talking about in this mid lane. Chessie's positioning has been really good. I like. He's put a lot of pressure on the enemy mid, but Mage has sort of kept his cool. He's gotten the last hits under his tower. Yeah, he's gonna lose this lane, but he should be okay.
And as you can see, every time Chessie tries to go on him, because of the new Avalanche, you can't easily close the distance. Searing Chains comes out in time. But you see, he just wants to toss back. Gets the wrong thing, though. I mean, you get a little bit of damage, but honestly, with not much mana, you can't do anything, especially with Avalanche still on cooldown. And I like that Mage is identifying he can never kill him, so he always just flame guards to clear camps. Clear away from.
It's something you got to always ask in these games. It's 3 minutes in. That's the first critical point. Are all the cores farming? And the answer is yes.
Oh, Kezu, no, he used a salve as well.
No.
Oh, no, they tried for the kill, and look how close they were to claiming Hanskin's life.
Yeah. That's not a good trade regardless, especially with the salve being blown.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know I think that's just a misread. I know you're desperate to put some pressure on this PL in lane, but all of your cores are farming.
Pexu? Okay, guess it's wrong in the hands.
Yep. I love it, man.
But look at this. Pexu's going to stun up. He should be able to walk away from Tiny now. He needs to grab a tree and run him down with the haste.
Tiny's fast.
Pexu's gone. He knows as
he
well.
Is dead.
Oh, he almost gets Hanskin, though. Close call.
But that's like two pretty big kills that Hanskin's got in his team. Man, very nice.
And then he denies himself.
And he's just going to suicide for the tower.
He mistimed it, though. Pexu did get the kill.
Oh, come on.
Whoops. Didn't want to wait around,
Yeah, I know.
But this is a huge boon for Chessie.
Yeah, it is.
I like what they're doing here. They know they can't let Mage get to 6. That's when they won't be able to kill him any longer. So Hanskin did TP mid, but Mage already knew someone was up.
Exactly. That's one of the big things that, in pubs, that'll catch a lot of people out. But at this level of play,
Mage
support's
again.
dying, that's missing.
Every time with this, just getting tossed under tower by Chessie. I mean, it makes a difference. It's just forcing you to use bottle and use flame guard defensively. You can never get aggressive.
Well, it's fine because he doesn't really need kill potential on the Tiny in this lane.
I mean, he doesn't really have it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, toss back. This time to Era. Mage. He's not level
nice.
6 yet. Tower doing a lot of damage. The Fire Spirits means he can't use the bottle. Gonna cut the trees and turn around, just walk back and get tapped in the face by the tree of Chessie.
Yeah, that's a really nice patience by Era to wrap around there just as nighttime begins. So he never showed. He just hung around by the tower. He didn't try to go out into lane. And Chessie's saying, just hang out there. Just hang out there. I'll toss him. The kill's easy.
Yeah, folks, what you're seeing here is the true Phoenix tree combo. They don't even need 6 to make it work.
Well memed, friend. Well memed.
There you go. Pexu got a DD here. Yeah, good luck with that. There's a dive available. Maybe go back to lane, try and do something. Hanskin was waiting. If he actually came up onto the high ground, they could easily kill Pexu even with a DD.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on in this top lane here. Madara has dipped into the jungle. I guess that's pretty... The timing on that is a little bit earlier than I'll see.
You're TB. You can do this. It's fine.
Yeah. And it makes sense too because they do need to give MNT. He's really suffered from that null tally decision. I thought they would coordinate that better at the beginning of the game, but he's had to play very conservatively from not having regen in this lane, and so he just hit level 4.
I think it's identification of the potency of their level 6 to then get it quick enough.
And look at Era hanging around in this mid lane again, and Mage knows it now. Well, he's not level 6 yet. Now that was a good call on the timing there. That not only the kill, but just the intimidation has really held him back. He just hit level 6 on that.
Oh, look at this though. Flame Guard straight away. He knows he can trade effectively, and Era has to reveal himself. Mage does have the Remnant, but he hasn't thrown one back yet. Takes a lot of damage in return. They can just toss the tree at him if they want to. Mage will walk it off, but he might want to go use the Shrine. There is no rune here for him. Kind of highlight that top lane.
And because of that, they're not going to get max value out of that Shrine.
Yeah, and I just want to go back to this top lane because we're talking about MNT needing to be recovered here. And Terrorblade can go to the jungle, but that means there's absolutely no pressure on this Sand King whatsoever. And we've seen what happens in games where a Sand King gets a great start.
Well, not only that, we talked about Unisamfan being sort of high leverage hero in this game on the side of Final Tribe. If he gets his mobility items early, he can do a lot in this game. He can, all of those reasons that I said I think I like Vega's draft in this game. If Eunice gets farmed and gets his mobility, I mean, he's going Vanguard first. Look at this shit, right? He gets a Vanguard and his mobility items online. He's going to own this game. Engagement at the bottom rune here.
Yep, they're going to turn around. They actually initially tried to go on a Pexu, and Hanskin instead will be the one falling. Enough slows to just overwhelm him there. And, well, Mage did come across. Didn't get involved, though. One thing I did want to highlight, I was talking to you about this before the draft. I like playing Ember a lot. As a hero that feels kind of underwhelming this Wraith Band meta, because as you can see, he only built one. He did go for the wand instead.
He's got to be a little careful here, man.
He knows there's no abilities. There's a toss now. Mage, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
He'll be fine. It's only a level 2 toss. Living life on the edge, though. You can now go back. It's efficiency, Alan. It's about maximizing that return to base.
I mean, he was very confident in the positioning of the supports on the other side. Meanwhile, Kezu getting dove down bottom.
Yeah, that's a fan. No top. Look at this. They go into the Sand King now. They use the Sunday. Tries to escape, but too late.
Okay, that actually it's gonna feel weird for me to say this about a Sand King kill, but that was a very, very big kill there. Because they got him right on the edge of... He nearly had gold for his Vanguard. That's going to set him back a little bit. And the blink is going to be that much later. And as a result of this dipping into the jungle, Modder leveling very efficient.
Look at this, though. Bot lane. PL just got picked off for the Primal War. Mage on point with the rotation. And Hanskin has no escape plan either. Going to be 2 kills. Double kill picked up for the Ember. And this is what we were talking about. The difference between Tiny and Ember is once you're part 6, you just gank. Tiny still needs a blink dagger before he can do that.
Yeah, and Tiny not a hero that is necessarily going to come in and take that tower behind the gank. And it's yet more room to give MNT those resources to catch up. Now, Chessie rotating up through the jungle. He might get a kill on the Grimstroke there.
Yeah, Pexu, he can't even activate the Inkswell. He's gone.
All right.
Nice movement speed from the Tiny, courtesy of building Wraith Bands and Phase Boot.
And it takes a couple of TB's camps there. He's still behind the Terrorblade in terms of progression.
He is, and 2 runes apiece by the looks of it. Mage says you pick this up, I don't want it. Or actually, I think he's trying to get value first. Yeah,
I think Vega's feeling really good about where they are.
I mean, you gotta be. It looked a little bit rough at first, but proved the Ember point. Just a matter of time. Just bide your time, then come at this, because all this hero really needs to remain relevant is levels.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big concern again though is the Sand King, right? The Ember is behind him. He's feeling effective in these engagements, but it's just... You got to deal with this hero because he can really disrupt so many things you want to do in this game. Oh,
he's trying to disrupt Mage right now, but Mage knew someone was up. There are wards in this jungle from TFT. They see everything, and look at this. Terrorblade already read it. Madara knows it's too much of an investment to try and find those wards, so he just moved across to the triangle.
And look at what the wards say about the approach to the game. I really love this. Okay, compare the ward positioning in this match to what we saw in Vega from the last game. They're saying we know that if we can farm, we're going to be fine.
Kezu, a little bit of trouble here, but the silence out from maybe next time. There's the Primal Roar trying to escape the Burrow Strike. Jansen fan said, surprise! You did not expect me. MNT with the TP out should be fine. Kezu as well. They'll both escape alive.
Oh, very cool. And that's 4 heroes forced to rotate to the bottom lane. Yeah, that's space created right there.
Yeah, even for the Primal Roar, it's not exactly the biggest cooldown, especially if you get out like that, and 4 heroes, as you said, have to come to try and get you. At least the Arrow is farming alongside that, though. So, you know, he's trying to catch up. He's 4k net worth, but Madara, 6k net worth now.
I guess, so I guess Boots of Travel First is like just the mandatory Ember build.
I don't think
everybody that I've seen. Everybody that I've seen is doing this now. And I don't know, man. I mean, this is a do shit hero.
I think the thing to kind of highlight is it does allow you to do shit because, like, the way it worked before is that you had to always use these Fire Spirits to get back, right? These fire Now, you can actually commit them aggressively, and you can actually just use these 2 different forms of TP to get around.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, those if you can use those aggressively, like people don't realize the damage at low levels of play anyway. Don't realize the damage output of those things because it's so common for the Ember to just use them defensively. But, you know, like you said from the very get-go, ordinarily old Ember, you get level 6, and the first thing you do is you put down a Remnant in defensive position behind the tower. But he didn't do that, right? The mentality is entirely offensive with that spell right now.
I think especially, we talked a lot last few days about the pace of the game being quicker. But the cooldown remains the same for those Fire Remnants. You know, it takes a long time to get them back, 38 seconds. So you just need to use them aggressively. You don't. If you actually have to throw back one defensively, it just minimizes your impact in this mid game.
Oh man! So both teams mounting an early aggression against the tier 2. It looks like Vega is gonna complete the push first. Oh no! Okay.
No, there's a glyph. TFT get theirs, but Vega will still get theirs. They're fine. Not much difference between it.
Yeah, and ordinarily that would be advantage Radiant. Because obviously the 2 safe lane towers are much more significant on the side because they also help you control the Roche pit. In this matchup, though, I'm not sure because it's much more important for TFT to stop Vega from farming than the reverse. And I think Vega is setting it up so that they're going to have access to the Radiant jungle.
Looking that way, you can actually really see from their position. Mage just wants to get active and find kills here.
I just have to say this is, again, most of the viewers aren't gonna, I like the vision game from Vega in this series a lot. They've transitioned from having the wards and a defensive set around their own jungle.
They found him here. Dusted the silence stops. He's going to get stunned by the Ink Spell as well. The Searing Chains interrupts him from getting rid of the silence. Now, channeling the epicenter and Mage just move away.
Oh, the Remnant. Very nice.
Get baited into it. So now that's a big cooldown. They might find Pexu though, but it's 4 heroes again, and this time it's questionable whether you even find the support. He doesn't have a TP, so he should be falling regardless. The clap does miss, but Hanskin is going to get a little bit drunk and go for a pie.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's almost more significant that they baited up than the Grimstroke kill there. They're going to get a tower in exchange. I am not sure about this decision. So I liked the Vanguard first. I understand why you do that. But Jonas has gone all the way for the Crimson Guard. And he's not even going to necessarily get Blink next.
Yeah, it's going to be a long time before he's your initiator. So there's a lot of pressure, I think, on Hanskin to do that for you at this rate.
Well, and Chessie.
Most definitely. He has got his Blink now. He's also bolted an Arcane Rune. But who's your pick-off? We just saw how frustrating it is to try and find anyone. If they start seeing that Blink, Mage might start keeping a Remnant safe. In fact, he has. You can see it right in the bottom right corner here in the trees.
Okay, and this is something that TFT did yesterday with a different line of smoke play coming out here from Vega. Interesting to see whether they're going to try to. And that they are using the scan. They're going to whiff.
Yeah,
they're going to get this big pick off here.
They could easily find Era and take the tower. Chessie be the preferred kill. They're wrapping around right now. Era's going to break the smoke. Primal Roar comes out. No egg for you. They move in. The Avalanche going to be there. Era's still alive here. But the silence through, he actually can't use the ult. Cyclone is there on the Pexu. He's going to be left behind.
In.
Look at this. They're happy with that. They say, okay, Split got committed. Don't let him have more. Kessie been found, though. The Avalanche is going to be there. Then toss back or on the spot. And they'll choose to do it on the spot as they kill off the Beastmaster.
And the move backfires drastically there from Vega. That's so high risk given your lineup. I mean, you need the Ember and the Terrorblade to continue progressing. I'm not so sure about that smoke plate. It's nice because if you do get a clean unanswered pickoff, you do secure the first Roche, but yeah.
I think you're right.
You're losing so much map control now.
I think you're right about how that was way too risky because you see that smoke break, and a lot of people go, why would you Primal Roar the Phoenixes? You know, it's not a high-value target. They didn't have a choice because Phoenix, if he sees you in that scenario, which he did, he'll dive after you if you try and run away. He'll drop the egg in the trees where you can't even touch it. And Hexu just got touched. That's a DD Tiny, ladies and gentlemen.
What was the idea there? Yeah.
Well, things are getting rough for the side of Vega here.
And again, I've been telling you guys since the first match that we cast together, this is something you're going to have to watch for in this patch. One bad fight at 15 minutes is going to be like where it used to be one tower. It's going to be 2 towers and more in this meta.
Your teams can feel pretty greedy about it. And, well, Vega, are they going to try for another one? I think they want to smoke again. Yep, Kezu's got one available. He has got his Necronomicon now as well. But the thing is, they need Madara to make this happen. He knows it. He's going to get involved. They actually find anyone, though. I mean, Mage is going to cut the creep wave. They know they can at least get this tier 1, but that still wouldn't set up for a roast because the egg is still available in TFT.
Yeah, Eunice is a problem. Man, he's got Crimson Hood. He ain't dying in these fights. He's level 13.
He'll party all night. And look at this. They move in. Madara. They snuck in alongside the Beastmaster. Look how quick this is. I don't think TFT is going to realize in time.
I don't know, though.
They deny the tower at least, but that's going to be an Aegis going the way of Vega.
Okay.
I like that move. That was smart.
It's what you wanted. It's what you wanted to achieve in the first place, but
he'll be fine.
Kill on the distant page. Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, he has to find how to initiate with the Bar Strike, so it'll just be a TP away by the Beastmaster. He had no choice. He had to actually go with the Bar Strike first, otherwise he gets Prime Reward anyway. Which, to be honest, would have been a preferred scenario, because then at least that's on cooldown. It's still only level 1.
Yeah, it's just tough right now because at this point, because you lost that engagement and you lost all your towers, you're very much in completely in stall mode. You're not going to do anything aggressive with this Aegis at this point. And a defensive Aegis at this point in a Dota game is just not that impactful.
Yeah,
because a lot of times the thing is, like, a defensive Aegis at this point in the game, a lot of times if the hero with Aegis gets picked off, if he gets 3v1 or 4v1, if they can kill him once, they can kill him twice.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing is actually you look at the lineup right now, and because Tiny has the Echo Saber as well, it's who can he not kill right now is what I'm trying to think. And honestly, when you think of Vega's lineup, they're all pretty susceptible to just being wiped out in one combo.
Right, and it's also the loss of all these towers is super relevant there too, because ordinarily you'd be able to TP in and you'd be able to set up a sort of counter initiation by the time that anyway.
Chessie blinks away. They're going to find him. Mystic Flare's there.
Oh, that's very nice.
With the Soulbind perfectly placed there between the Bruise Split. And that Bruise Split we just spoke about is going to be a very defensive one. They're going to try and make use of it. Mage does get stunned up. Diffuse on him. Power Strike 3's got no mana left. Mage might be going down here. Remnant comes out, but it won't make the difference.
Yeah, the Soulbind there was tremendous. You could tell Chessie's like, what? Oh, why can't I? Oh, damn.
And just on the edge. He was skirting the edge of that Mystic Flare. If he gets out of that, Chessie doesn't die.
Yeah, exactly. And so that was placed perfectly, but then you give away the rebuttal kill on Mage, and it's kind of all for nothing. And it's one of those where Terrorblade's out in front, fine, but especially given what the Sand King is looking like with Pipe and Crimson before 20 minutes, Terrorblade by himself is not going to do anything.
And the thing that
you have to have a way to take a team fight as Vega here, and that's playing directly into TFT's hands.
And that's the crux. You need like a good 10 more minutes before Terrorblade can really carry these fights. He has at least got the BKB, which is a huge boon against TFT because they don't have any BKB piercing ultimates. Not a reliable one, right? They've got the egg, but that takes time, and Terrorblade will just wipe that egg out. He needs to get a level 2 one before he can even think about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And another point that I like to make, you've heard me say this before. Look how easy they're making this game for Frost. They're giving him a hero that has so much flexibility in terms of his approach to fights. They're playing around this Sand King and this Brewmaster and this Phoenix that are attracting so much attention. Like, PL is... The way that they're taking these fights, you can't afford to focus on him, and he has so much mobility if you do.
Absolutely. And, of course, this game goes on while Terrorblade will be strong. PL also is known for his late-game carrying. And the concern is actually whether Mage will be able to get his items at this rate. I mean, he's going for a Lincoln's next. He's all in on this kind of 4 Protect 1 logic. He's not aiming to be a secondary carry, really. It's more about control, staying alive, just carrying your team through that mid-game. Because it's getting a little bit messy for the side of Vega.
Nah, it's Jonas is just owning, man. He's now going to get his blink in another couple minutes. He's going to have... man, he is just owning this game. He is nearly even with his Tiny and farm, ahead of 2 out of 3 opposing cores.
I mean, it's kind of weird to say in those scenarios. The Sand King is less killable than the PL by a landslide.
Well, and that's the thing that you want, like, you almost want him to die, because at this point, if they invest, if you're in position and if they invest enough resources to kill this level 15 Sand King with Crimson Guard and Pipe, the rest of your team is just going to destroy.
I think one thing that people haven't highlighted too much is the change to Sandstorm. That DPS talent is so much more effective now.
I was just going to make that point. He just hit level 15, and that it gives him split pushing effectiveness. It makes it another thing that you need to worry about in the middle of these fights. You know, another smoke play here by Vega, maybe trying to get a pick up in the same area of the map. But
Kezu, oh no, doppelganger away. Frost is still on the high ground, but they don't realize it. Now Kezu's going to get turned around in the Burrow Strike. He's going to run out of mana before he can even do anything. The Soulbind committed, but it won't matter. He's going to charge on through, now trying to go to work. There's going to be a frame drop there, courtesy of the PL Terrorblade interaction. The Epicenter, not really doing too much. Madara, the BKB, full defense and just a TP out as they lose 3 on the side of Vega.
Damn. I don't know. You all, that is as a dire team, that's a side of the map. That's an area of the map that you always have to respect. And I think it's awfully optimistic to think that you're going to get a PL pick off in that situation. You know, you got to do something. You are under a lot of pressure, but I would have even, I don't think that's the play.
The problem here is how that ripples in terms of effects. You're going to lose lane probably. We're talking about Metamorphosis being used, but more importantly, that's the big BKB reveal for your Terrorblade. He is meant to strike terror, ironically enough, into your opponents, and instead, he's sitting here helpless, not knowing what to do.
Yep.
Actually going to leave. TFT are going to respect Vega here. They got the heroes up. They say, don't fight. Of course, we already used the egg. Epicenter has been used as well. A little bit too risky. But look at this chase. Mage looking for a target. Can't find it, though. Frost is not the optimal one. Not with that Manta.
But you know, the best thing, right, about that is that TFT understands that this is a map control matchup, right? And they got a tier 3, which means that they can go and take these shrines on the next big push. And that just eliminates any possibility that Vega have to respond to any aggression by TFT outside the base. So TFT can go ahead and reset, get ready for the next big push, think about the timing of contesting Roshan, and knowing that they have the option now to take out their shrines.
And Roche will make the difference here again, but this time TFT get it, they can go win. Vega have to take it just to make sure their opponents don't get it. That's a horrible scenario to be in, because when you look at it, it's pretty obvious who they're going to put the Aegis on the side of Vega. It has to be this Terrorblade, because this Ember, he doesn't have the damage, and if he uses Flame Guard and goes down, his DPS is irrelevant when he comes back up.
Yeah, this is just, I don't know, it's just why I question the Boots of Travel on the Ember Spirit. I mean, it is such a powerful build. I understand why everybody and their grandmother is going with that nowadays, but it just feels like in this meta, with the timing of this patch, there are just so many situations where, by no fault of his own, the Ember gets his Boots of Travel, he gets his next damage item, and he's just already irrelevant.
Well, I'm pretty sure grandmothers were going for it because back in their days, it was the build to go to. Back in the old days of 7.19 and before. Get off my lord. Not okay. Kezu, promo roll comes out to Tiny. That's not the optimal target. But look at the damage. It's more than enough. Look at him. The Mystic Flare's on point. The split comes out. And BKB activated Madara trying to move. And Epicenter's going to be the Handsome Fan. He can't do anything yet, though. Madara's BKB will finally run out. And now they're going to burn through his mana supply. Mana Dodge try and move away. The egg is down. Mage on the back foot. We'll get rid of it alongside the Skyraft. But Grimstroke on the other side, he's going to pay the price for this. It's a 2-for-2 trade, but a big win for TFT again as they just eliminate this Terrorblade.
Yeah, Madara felt that he had to use his BKB a little bit early on in this fight, so he didn't have the BKB to protect the Sunder. And, you know, there's just so much chain stun up on the side of TFT at this point that there's no way you're going to get that off if you blow it early, if you blow your BKB early.
Absolutely. And that Epicenter, while it seemed early, half the duration affected the Terrorblade and also stopped anyone from trying to get involved in helping him.
Yeah, and look, you say this Ember doesn't...
No, Flame Guard's gone. Suddenly it's an abort. He wants this so badly, but the Crimson Guard protected. No, he gets it. Oh, he drinks back, but it doesn't matter. The Caustic Finale finishes him off.
You just can't do that. And I mean, that is case in point of what we were saying, that the Ember is not able to chase a solo support off a lane. I mean, yes, Brewmaster is pretty OP in this patch, but that sequence of events is incredibly telling for where the Ember is.
Yeah, he is control. He has to accept that role in the team. It's the Terrorblade. You just need to focus on being able to protect him in these fights. Thank you to Cat2 Brother for pointing out that the shrines are having the crap kicked out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Our helpful Chinese broadcasters. They notice the things that we are too busy talking about other things to talk about.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I told you that was going to be significant for the side of TFT. It's a nice little secondary objective.
I'm going to help them back. What's that? Where is? Oh, it's not activated. I can't do it.
Okay,
It's
no.
Come on,
Cape. We're not
the
like...
Shadowblade is a fair point. Beastmaster's going to have a way in now. We're going to turn it into an I know more than you battle between different languages casters.
Please no. Please no.
Let me just give them the important detail.
Yeah, so because what we need right now in the Dota scene is more country versus country tension.
Hey, the players and fans have their conflicts. Let's have a little bit of internal caster brawling here.
Wow.
I thought that should have been a thing. I think when Mortal Kombat came out, we should have genuinely just kind of like done a Mortal Kombat. Oh, it's not Mortal Kombat, was it? The Soul Calibur overlay, and genuinely had the talent fight each other at ESL.
I mean, no, we just it's like anything else. We don't actually do it. We just sit back and wait for Slacks to make it a meme.
You know,
which of course he did.
He could. I'm telling you though, you could have got some real action going there. See who wins in a fight between Red Eye and Kyle.
I don't know about you, but I'm not giving Toby a halberd and going anywhere near him. I mean, okay, fine. He's more of a danger to himself with a Najinata than he would be to anybody else, but I'm still not going anywhere near that.
I just imagine he's one of those people with a flail that swings it around now in a compact area and breaks everything in the room that belongs to him. Is this what we're going at?
Uh-oh. Grimstroke is...
Yeah, he's dead. Ignore him. He wasn't there. That wasn't awkward positioning at all. He was never there. He died somewhere else in a more logical position.
Yeah, I love that Tiny just TPs in to try and KS there. I mean, come on, it's only a Grimstroke.
I also like that
He's
line.
Like, I got a DD rune, man.
But look at that line. Chelsea's like, I got a DD still. Do you think I can get up here and kill someone quick enough? Because he's on his way now, and Sandking's looming around in the trees. He was spotted. Kezi with Shadowblade.
No,
you can't go for this kill.
They're trying to run top, but
you wouldn't be able to kill him anyway. So you should be grateful you don't find him.
Exactly. I kind of like the Kezu playing behind the stage. Oh, all right.
Chessie, he saw it. Can't see these wards in the jungle. Oh, your handsome fan. He's a little bit deep here. Reflection's going to follow him. Burrow strike to escape. Primal Roar comes out, though. He's still tanky. Can actually the quick shot outside the Mystic Flare, though. He will just be evaporated here. Split comes out. Looking to actually get some turnaround kills to buy back out for Sand King as well. Can they do anything? Avalanche, toss, jump in. Chess go for on MMT. But Dara says, screw that. BKB TP out. And he leaves behind both the Skywrath and the Beastmaster, who are both dead now.
I mean, it's nice to be able to get a buyback on the Sand King, but...
Slows him down a bit, but it's another BKB that honestly is used defensively.
And Sand King actually, I mean, Sand King has everything he wants, right? I mean, fine, yes, another mobility item would be great, but he's got his double damage mitigation, his blink, and bots.
And he's going for Yules next. At which stage, how the hell do you kill him?
I mean, what just happened is the only path, but that's the thing. The idea is that if you're forced to commit that, if you're forced to commit something like a Roar Mystic Flow on
Can they game? Yes, they can. He can't actually escape this. They move in into LCM chase. Everything locking him in place. And the silence just at the end to make sure he is gone. And that is huge.
Yeah, that's really big. That's 100 seconds with no Sand King. And all of a sudden, they're like, okay, can we commit to this push? I guess so.
Well, they're actually going back to slow down the other push. Terrorblade will stay in the bot lane. But Mage needs to carry heavy on preventing this push in the top.
Yeah, this is...
They
have no
split here. Hanskin's going to go down here, and on the back foot, no Pixu taken out in return. The buybacks come out from both of them. Kezi run out of mana, going to be chased into by Frost, slow down with Spirit Lance, but he can't commit deeper. Meanwhile, on the base, trying to slow us down. Hanskin gets to dance with Badara, but can't do much. Meanwhile, back in the base, Chessie does pick off and kill off MNT. Mage needs to be careful. He's low on mana. He has no remnants left. No, he's too far out. Inkspell to try and protect, but it won't be enough. Ross is going to chase through. He knows this is an easy kill from the buyback coming out for the Skywrath now. Madara right in the mid. Mage. Oh, he just gets out of range. Just in time. They're going to turn around Era. He needs to get rid of the Phantom's Embrace, but it doesn't matter. He's gone. They find him. They hold their base. They do take, I would say, a decent trade there considering where Vega is in this game right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they've got to be thrilled with what just happened. I mean, I don't know as TFT if you needed to commit there. You knew that your Sand King was dead without buyback for 100 seconds. Your Primal Split was down, and you're in the middle of the base with Brewmaster and PL hitting racks. I mean, it's fine, but you ended up, like, there's no way with where you were in this game that you should have traded racks for racks.
Yeah, both sides getting melee as well, so it's going to even that up. Of course, the difference is, I'll give TFT a fair point here in that because they get rid of this mid for mid problem, it's always shoving. They can now just kind of play this back and forth game between the top and the bot lane and just look to slowly whittle it down.
No, mid for bottom is a win, okay? But remember that these base buildings are also worth a ton of gold. And remember that any fixed gold lead becomes less and less significant as the game goes on. Like a 4K gold lead for TFT, that's not that big.
And stupid Dota Plus, assuming a 76% win rate for the side of TFT. And, well, this will help embolden them, finding a kill in the Skywrath.
Yeah, he's off the map for 80. That's okay.
Vega's reclaimed, though, which means TFT may need to take a deep breath. Think about what they do next. I think that's actually the big difference to kind of highlight there, is that trade happens when you have an Aegis as well.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're supposed to be at a point in the game where you're at an overwhelming advantage, and you can just continue to sustain pressure on the enemy side of the map, keep them in the base. As long as Ember and TB aren't both farmed, you are winning.
Oh, Johansson fan? Primal Rondo from Kezu, he's found him. Will he get the support? Yes, he will. Look at this rotation from both the cores. Mage coming one way and Madara the other. Johansson fan trying to escape Mage. They can find him.
Oh, God.
Mage, come on, he's got to see this. He just needs to commit a Remnant, but he's only got one left. Searing Chains is there, but this may be a little bit far. Look at the rest of them, they're hesitating.
Yeah, he's still got Pipe.
He's got the Burrow Striker and the Blink. Sandstorm to hide here with his Burrow Strike away.
Yeah, that's just such a tough target to get right now.
A little bit of Carl there, Alan. Let's restop the call.
All right, go. One of the big missing ingredients, hopefully this sounds a little better now, one of the big missing ingredients there was Kessie's BKB, which just came up.
You're actually more robo than last time.
Oh, really? All right. Well,
all right, that's good now. Wait, I think it's good now.
Good? Okay. All right. Okay.
It started off very weird. I think Skynet got to you.
It's like every relationship I've ever had.
Oh, God.
Started off weird.
It got worse. All right, let's try this again.
All right. All right.
All right, it's all good, folks. We'll get there. All right, Nahaz, nice. I think he's reclaimed his... Yeah, I think you reclaimed your humanity now. I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank God for that.
Was it ever there?
I don't know. You just... Wait. This makes sense now. He's all about the numbers. All right?
I'm a stat bot, hun.
Yep, numbers. Mason, lines of code. I think Alan might be a robot. You don't know. This is the problem. How would you know? Now I've gone too deep before. He's like, I need to focus
tuned out.
He's like, I need to focus on Dota, but now he's got me questioning life. Uh-oh.
I'm just looking at this. This is a winnable game here for Vega.
Not if you have things like this happen.
That's not the way to do it. Oh, come on, Caster Curse. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, Pexu's now questioning life because he's dead for 70 seconds.
I had to open my damn mouth.
Yeah, but look what Madara's doing. They actually have to come back to make sure he can't push in here because they saw what happened last time with Terrorblade got on the high ground.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They've got split push. I was looking at the Battle Fury about to come up on the Ember Spirit. He's always got the Lincoln, so he's pretty protected in this split push. I wonder if he just goes BKB next.
It should also be pointed out how powerful this Battle Fury is because you are up against that Phantom Lancer.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Because he's so tanky, his team can't be anywhere near him if they want to live. Not to mention, if you look at his level, actually, Mage is getting pretty close to level 25 where you get that double slide fist. This is getting scary for TFT. I think they are now on the clock.
Yeah, they definitely are. And they need to commit to that big 5-man push. They need to Roche and commit to that big 5-man push to win the game. And you can already see, TFT... Hanskin is checking that Roche pit saying, all right, this is our path to victory, guys. But by the time they set for Roche, the split push coming out from Vega, they're going to be able to have all 3 lanes in their favor. And especially given that That bottom lane concerns me a lot.
Mage, living life on the edge there. He'll be fine, buddy. He'll move away just in time. Chessie almost claiming his head.
I mean, look at Hanskin sitting in the Roche pit.
But this is risky for both teams.
They need to know the minute that Roche pops.
And this is risky for both teams because if you look at buyback, the only person who just got buyback is Madara. No one else has it available right now, and it shows in the way that both teams are playing. They're reluctant to look for this engagement. They might go look onto Mage here, though. He's alone.
Yeah.
And, well, Frost, you just kind of gave it away a little bit there, buddy.
Yeah, you wonder, I mean, Mage is in danger, okay, of becoming slot star, but he might need to get an Aeon disc himself. You saw the Aeon disc just coming out from MNT Skywrath. He knows that he's going to have to play on the enemy side of the map here.
Yeah. Skywrath leading the charge is an awkward sight to behold, but he's kind of structured himself away in that he can with the Atos plus the Aeon disc, just looking for that setup. Of course, when you're against these heroes, most of them are going to have blinks. You got the Brewmaster blink, Sand King blink, the Tiny blink, and the Doppelganger. Good luck hitting that Athos.
Oh, wow. And
they do it. They go.
Oh, Vega!
Oh, Johansson fan, what was that Pyro Strike? He misses Pegs to the front row coming out, looking to engage right now. And can they do enough damage to get him low? Sand King almost dead, but Dara, the BKB still running up against the PL. Now he's going to start Doppelganger and chase him forward. The buyback comes out from the Sand King. Madara, his BKB's run out. This is not good. Mage finally arriving, maybe a little bit too late to assist. They're going to keep chasing him down. If they can find Terrorblades, this is big because he already used the Metamorphosis. Meanwhile, MNT being chased onto, keeping Sand King busy, but there's the Abyssal coming through. Terrorblade, Mage finally arrives. The Reflection now. The Cleave through is not enough. It doesn't matter.
Oh, no mana for Sunder.
He's down. He can't do anything. And immediately Sand King goes bot because he sees creeps pushing in, but the rest of his team will commit to mid. They know they can force this buyback if he even has it. He does indeed, but that's no Metamorphosis, and this is a problem.
There might have been a split-second window there where he could have... There might have been a split-second window for him to get Sunder off, but the Diffusal of PL, he had no mana for it as he died.
Oh, look at this, trying to turn it around. Need to be careful in the Ember, though. Mage needs an escape plan tossed in the air, though. Sun right down to half HP. He has got buyback if he goes down, but he'd rather not have to use the egg. Does get committed here. Kezu trying to go to work, but needs to run away. Mage burning up, but not quick enough. And MNT, he is just handling them, controlling them so well in this fight. Oh, Hanskin!
Yeah.
We always get sniped out by the Remnant from Mage there.
Yeah, TFT here, I mean, this is the right decision. TFT say with Terrorblade, we need to force this TB buyback at the very least, and we're now in a position with the lanes that we can go ahead and pressure base.
They are indeed. Frost is already in. And they get out. Even if he uses it, he hasn't got Metamorphosis for 60 seconds. Oh, this will coming out. Front row used on new illusion. No, Pex is going to go down, and now they can turn on a Beastmaster as well. PL just overwhelms him right now. The reflection coming out is going to be enough. Kezu is going to fall. The buyback comes out from him, Terrorblade. Vidar trying to get involved. Frost getting low on HP. Needs to back away. Searing Chains doesn't connect from Mage. And now the reflection once more. They see which one's real. The Atos is going to be there. Have they got Mystic Flare? It's going to do a decent amount of damage, but he's still just doppelgangers away. This level 25 talent will keep him alive and get him out. Remnant forward. Mage wants this. Searing Chains to lock him down. Needs to be careful. They toss him away. Chessie bodyguard in Frost right now, but they can't bodyguard him any longer. He's going to get low. Silence will run out. He's still got the Doppelganger or the Abyssal. The heart has not proc just yet, though, so he's not healing up. They are going to continue the chase here. Atos comes out. Ares the target instead. He uses the Sunray. Burns up MNT, but not enough. He will die. But he keeps PL alive.
Yeah, look at Frost's HP too. That heart with a level 25 PL Doppel talent. It's just, I mean, he was at full HP before he TP'd out. That's insane.
But they almost found him. Actually, if they found him there, he was almost out of mana. He could have died. But Mage, he actually pinged on the other side. They thought he'd gone deeper in the trees, so they missed out the opportunity to get the kill. Phoenix does have the buyback, though, identifying he has Egg coming off cooldown, and Roche is up, and that is the target for both teams now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice hold by Vega, but they're in full desperation mode at this point.
It's looking rough, especially that TB buyback committed. And, well, at least in the next fight, they will have Metamorphosis. And he's super close to getting this Demon's Edge to completely dayless.
I will say, though, just in the interest of unbiased casting, Unison Fan, who has otherwise played an immaculate game, he messed up at the beginning of that fight. And it could have been very, very costly for TFT there.
Indeed it could. But they have their armors on side TFT for this Roche fight, which is even more important than what just happened at base. And look at this, the first pick off Scarf a little bit too deep. They're going to find Pexu as well. Both supports trying to wrap around alone.
What are they doing there?
That's the wrong way to fight.
There's no way you're going to be able to wrap around.
And now there's no way you can defend this Roche.
They don't have a ward there.
So many questions we asked right now. Madara is already on his way to the bot lane to shove that in and buy a little bit of time, but now you can't interrupt this. Costly errors being made here.
I'll just go ahead and say, once again, DD runes need to be 50% effective. They need to be like plus 50% damage against Roshan and enemy structures.
I mean, I was saying to you before, I'd legit like to see it, but in the Roche pit, they're just nullified. So you can use them to win a fight around Roche.
That's fine too. I just think DD runes are fine in every other aspect. They need to be rebalanced against Roshan, and I actually think base pushes as well. I don't think as a TB you should be able to bottle a DD rune for a Rax push.
Blame Envy.
It's just too much.
Blame Envy. Blame Envy.
Yes, I blame Jackie for a great many things. Even though I love the dude.
The good and the bad. Mostly the bad. And look at this. Terrorblade almost level 25, by the way. Probably gonna see that attack range.
On himself. Although we're more and more these days, we are seeing TBs go for that attack range talent over the Sunder, and there is so much chainstone in this game. It's not a lot.
Actually, looking at whether Tiny wants to go for the toss charge with Avalanche. I imagine toss here, especially against the Ember Spirit, or even against the TB to stop him sundering at any stage.
Yeah, I think the toss charge talent got a big buff just because of the way that Avalanche works now. It's not as hard a lockdown, so having the -9 second Avalanche cooldown is not as valuable as it would have been.
I also look at Phoenix's talents at level 25, and when you look at how tanky his lineup is, if he gets his hands on that Sunray, they always have to eliminate Phoenix first.
Well, and that's a pretty tall order.
As indeed, you commit too hard, the egg comes out, and then we've already seen Johansson fan being on point a lot of these fights with his Burrow Strike.
That's exactly right. That's the thing, that he's played so well in this game. He's just controlled these team fights.
Arrogant.
And yeah, it's a point that we made earlier, but I think that it can't be overstated. The effectiveness of that plus 50 Sandstorm DPS just in the pushes, together with the rework, that helps. That's a big thing that TFT have to worry about as this game went on, was answering the split push potential of Vega, and it looked at one point like Vega were going to be able to apply that pressure across the map and keep the lead manageable on the side of TFT.
I think the thing that's problematic for TFT is they have this 15k net worth lead, but when you look at the heroes, the Terrorblade and Ember, it's very hard to find pickoffs on them because they push by proxy or they push in a very elusive way.
Yes.
That's why that 16k net worth lead, while they are in a good location on side TFT, unless they can force Vega to commit outside the base, they are always worried about how this goes and the chance there's going to be a backstab at their base. Now I'm going to see Sankin going for a heart next, by the way. Gotta get more tanky.
Yeah. I mean, I think at some point, Eunice just, in order to keep playing like he's been playing, he's going to need that item, right? He wants to keep being that focus. And like, this is a time where he has to make the choice between, trying to keep being that focus as the physical damage from the side from Vega Squadron ramps up, or go to a more sort of utility-oriented set.
I think the other thing to look at right now is the Blood Form being built on Frost. Against Ember Spirit, they combine right, pop that Lincolns, he's dead every time in these fights. Oh, Mystic Flare coming out, Chase forces the BKB, they go going with the Abyssal on the Beastmaster, cares about mana, Shadowblade just enough for it to move away.
Nice.
Split was used to find the tower, can they find more? Try and slow us down, Mage doing what he can. Sun's going to come out onto the Storm Panda, just to make sure they don't get a favorable timing on dropping him down. And actually, that Storm Panda linked up with Frost. Avalanche going in. Pexy's going to get low. He's going to go down. The Primal Roar's out. Looks like they're trying to go on Chessie to eat the cheese, but it won't matter. They just melt straight through. And the buyback coming out from Grimstroke getting involved again. And Frost, he's taking way too much damage here. Madara proving himself formidable here. Can he run from his Doppelganger already used? Coming off cooldown again. He can look to make his escape. He has the Aegis. Doesn't want to commit it though. Epicenter being channel going to move in. Johansson fan going to Kezu. The egg gets committed as well. The chaos is huge. Kezu, he's going to go down. Frost moving even deeper. Pexy almost dead for the second time here. Madara, he's back in his fountain. Metamorphosis on half duration. No BKB for 45 though. They're going to lose the racks, and look at this. Jesse, objective-oriented as he goes straight to the top lane and wants to finish off that range racks. But too much damage. He's going to go down. Mystic Flare. He's gone. The crits from Mage. Yansu Fan uses a Sandstorm. Terrorblade in a little bit of trouble here. Going to get low. The burn straight through him. And Mage just goes further away from his fountain, further away from safety. He needs to fight up against this. Sleight of Fist still on cooldown. Has the Searing Chains coming off cooldown itself. But Era, he slowed him down. They pop the link as they move straight in. Sleight of Fist moves away. Gets the kill onto the bird. But will lose his racks for it. What can Mage do? TP back to base and he's full HP. Mega. There's nothing left they can do. And actually, it might be dive time for the PL. Does he want to go Pi? He's thinking about it.
Come on.
Mage is going to go in. Searing Chain's going to come out. There's a silence, and he knows it's all over. It looks like we'll be going to a game 3 as Vega are unable to hold back the unrelentless power of this PL and Pine. Well, Sand King as well.
And the Sand King, right. I just think that Eunice basically won them this game, even down to the last engagement that he wasn't a part of until pretty late in. It's very, very difficult to anticipate the positioning of the 4 other TFT heroes when you see the Sand King pushing top. You think that you're safe, but that was actually a very nice move. I like the fact that Frost stayed in throughout that last fight. The temptation there would have been for him to doppel back and try and get some of that heart regen, but he stayed in the front lines, preventing the supports or the offline position from Vega from getting back into that fight. Madara was, MNT was effectively zoned out for a lot of that engagement. The Kazu Beastmaster couldn't really get back in after making the narrow Shadow Blade escape. So I just like the way that TFT played that game from start to finish. I think Vega had reasonable win conditions, but TFT they didn't make the big mistakes that you saw from them in game 1.
Absolutely. Looking a lot more composed, and we were worried they were on the clock. They identified that and got up in terms of racks taken, which enabled them to just kind of flood out on the map. I think the really crucial moment that Vega got to be sitting down and questioning was when both their supports wrapped around that Roche.
Yeah, I know you're trying to make a play there, but even if they don't have a ward, which they did, Final Tribe on the shrine position there, that's still, if you get caught in any way, that's still a horrible place for Dire to end up taking a fight. So that wraparound there is insanely risky. I don't even necessarily know what it buys you if it succeeds. So it's tough. I think TFT just played so much better in this game. The Eunice Sand King. I think if Eunice doesn't play, if he doesn't get off to that kind of lead, if he goes to a different item build, I think this Vega lineup could easily have steamrolled. But TFT did what they needed to do to win, and they avoided those mistakes. They made the game so easy to play for Frost. That really, you can't say that enough. The player that obviously had some mental problems toward the end of last game, they just made his life really easy and really smooth in this one.
Yep. As we say, a lot of teams focusing on enabling whoever has a hard time. Johannes Fan, we said he had to deliver, most definitely did in that game. But that does mean that we will have a third game in this best 3 between the Final Tribe and Vega. So we're going to go to a short break, then we'll be back, and we'll be praying that the draft doesn't involve Sand King, a Terrorblade, and a PL so that my PC can live another year or so. Stay tuned, guys.